Alright, so for today's video, I've got something I should probably address. So today I'm going to talk about something that means a lot to me. It's something that I really believe in, and that's individualism. So you may see I've got pink hair. I've had it for a little while now. It's not the first time I've done it, and I'll explain why. So you may think, what is a 38-year-old man doing with pink hair? And the answer's simple, it's fun and I like it. So I think if everyone dressed the same and looked the same and drove the same cars, the world would be a really boring place. So the first time I dyed my hair was like straight after I finished high school, basically, because I went to a private school and I couldn't play around with my hair too much at school. And I did it was just for fun. I just did it for a laugh. I did this bleach blonde thing and I quite liked it. So my whole life kind of since then, I on and off do it. You know, I'll go through a phase where I do it sometimes and then I don't do it. I've done tons of different colors. It's just something I do for a bit of fun. And honestly, I think these things give me confidence as a person. I feel good when I'm dressed, like if I'm wearing clothes I really like, or I've got my hair done, or whatever. Whatever it is, if I feel like I look good, then I feel great and I get more confidence from that. And that's not just like this. I used to work in corporate and I would wear suits every day. And I wanted to dress really nicely for that too. Fashion is something that I'm quite into. I'm quite good at color coordinating, you know, so even when I would wear suits, I'd just have like cool shirt and tie combinations and match with my socks and things like that. And these honestly give me confidence as a person. I just feel great when I'm dressed like this. So I grew up in the 90s and I liked punk rock and hip hop. I was into Eminem, and then on top of that I rode BMX, dirt bikes, I was into skating. So that's kind of where my style sort of evolved from. I would watch these people in like skating videos or music film clips and they all look so cool, and I wanted to be like that from a very young age. So it's funny, I made a date video a little while ago and I think I had Bart Simpson on my t-shirt for what I was wearing on that night. And I had a guy reach out to me via email and say, you know, you should dress more respectfully if you're going out on a date, you know, you should have worn a button-up shirt. Great video, whatever. Like, he wasn't hating on me, he was just giving me some, I guess, life advice or something like that. So I wanted to reply to him because he took the time to write that to me in an email, but I wanted to find a way to eloquently tell him that that's possibly the worst advice I've ever been given in my life. And the reason I believe that is you should always be yourself, especially on a first date. You want to convey exactly who you are. So I'm not the type of person that wears a button-up shirt on a date. This is me. You know, we'd actually met once before that, so it wasn't our very first time meeting. So she already kind of knew who I was, what sort of person I was and things like that. I do understand there is a time and a place to dress appropriately, and it's like we were just going out for a casual dinner and for some drinks. So it's not like I was underdressed for the place I was in or anything like that. You know, if I was going out to a nice restaurant with family or whatever, I wouldn't dress this way. I hopefully wouldn't have pink hair at the time. So I did carefully reply to the guy, and he actually got back to me again and thanked me for giving such a mature response. And he told me he's from an older generation and he just hadn't really thought of things in that way that I'd explained to him. So it was actually a really great interaction in the end. So the music I mostly listen to nowadays is actually Korean hip hop, which sounds super random, but it's not. So I used to have a Korean girlfriend back in Australia many years ago, and she introduced me to Korean hip hop. So she was watching a TV show that's kind of like The Voice or one of those competition shows, but for hip hop. And it's not for nobodies, it's for already established artists. This is a great TV show. She started watching this and I was like, oh my God, what is this show? I love it. So I fell in love with the genre after that. And one of the things I really like about Korean hip hop is they're so big on individualism. Every single person is different. I do like some American hip hop, but I find a lot of them, you know, they copy trends and styles and, you know, they start to look the same and sound the same. Whereas in Korean hip hop, everyone is really different, and having your own look and sound is very important to them. And the music's great. It's very progressive, very innovative, and Korea's got such a big entertainment industry. So I am working on releasing my own clothing line quite soon, which is really exciting. It's something I've been working on for a while. I've spoken about it before. It's just taking a little bit longer than I would like, which is kind of frustrating, but I'm a perfectionist with this stuff and I want it all to be exactly how I want it. Anyway, I'm working with a great graphic designer back in Australia. He's actually a personal friend of mine. So I finalized 2 of the logos and we're just working on the fine details of the rest of them, but it's really exciting. So I am also dating a girl with pink hair at the moment, which is kind of funny, but it's one of those situations that if I wasn't the person I am, we may not have met. So I saw her, I was out like at a bar drinking and I saw her like from miles away, bright pink hair, it's kind of hard to miss. Anyway, I went up to totally like my style, like everything, the fashion and everything I'm really into. So I went up to her and started talking to her and I said, you know, I love your hair, which I'm sure she hears all the time. And she said, oh, thank you. And I took off my hat and I said, I've got pink hair too, which I'm sure she hears never. So there you go, straight away, I had an in and we just like hit it off from that moment. So we hit it off right away. She often tells me, you know, she likes my hair or my clothes and my fashion and stuff like that. Can you see I've got this really cool Bugs Bunny Supreme shirt. And I know I'm not alone with this because people often ask me in the comments like where I get my clothes from and stuff like that. So I buy most of it online. I can't really seem to find clothes here that either fit me or that I really like. And then if you go to any of the like knockoff places like MBK or whatever, they're all terrible quality. But I think being the person I am has allowed me to have all these amazing experiences. I'm really lucky. I've got great friends all over the world now, so I'm able to meet people quite easily. I'm an outgoing person, but that's a skill that you develop too. I think it's important for you to get out of your comfort zone sometimes, do these things that may seem intimidating or difficult. I get a lot of people ask me about solo travel and should they do it, and they've never done it before, they're nervous or whatever, and I always tell them, you have to do it. Get out of your comfort zone. I find any time that I get out of my own comfort zone, that's when I have the most rewarding experiences. All right, well, I'm gonna finish the video up here. I got some really cool stuff coming up in the next few days, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching. See you next time. And then the best thing about this apartment, listen.